This week in VCT, VCT Pacific drops potentially another bombshell. Game Changers have officially finished, and one Game Changers player is looking on the verge of Tier 1. So let's first start off with the Rumour Mill, and let's talk about that potential bombshell which will be happening in VCT Pacific, that being Nongshim Red Force are rumored to replace Simpraz the Gaming in Pacific. This was reported by Tanmay. um, what is with the Pacific region and just having these massive bombshells? I mean, first we had Bleed Esports being kicked out of VCT in replace of Boom Esports. Now we're going to potentially have Nongshim Red Force replace Simpraza Gaming. I mean, I don't know what to think about this. I think you can say that Nongshim Red Force are more well known, I guess you could say, than Simpraza Gaming, but at the same time, both of these Korean orgs aren't like, let's just say, like D plus, for example, or even like SLT. So it's interesting and it's weird that Nongshim Red Force are looking to take that spot from Simpraza Gaming. I don't think the team even has the money for it. That might maybe be the reason why they are replacing him, but still, it's so weird what's happening in Pacific that I can't keep track. I mean, we already had Blade Esports being kicked out of ACT Pacific, and now it looks like Sunrise Gaming and Ascension Win is also going to be kicked out of Ascension as well. So a lot of weird stuff is happening in Pacific, but we'll see if this actually does come true. Another rumor, which includes Lao, they did announce their roster last week, I believe, but it is now rumored by Bruno Pavelli that Luxo, I'm pretty sure I say his name, will be joining the team. I'm pretty sure he's just a sub. He used to play for Gallery, so he was part of it. So he was part of Ascension. So I guess it's pretty good to have a young Brazilian player joining the ranks in Loud, which is great, and learning as well from veterans like DGZN or Vinny or Pancada. So it's good that they're potentially going to be signing him up. I swear he was rumored to be joining like Fury at some point. Might be wrong though. But either way, I think this is a great sign, in my opinion, to have these young Brazilian players coming into Tier 1. And as well, I mean, he used to play for Galleries. Galleries, they were very, very good in Ascension, so so I think that's definitely a plus on my books as well. And for the Game Changers player, which is rumored to be joining the Tier 1 organization, that being Apex Fluorescent. Yes, Apex Fluorescent. Alejandro Gomez basically dropped this bloody bombshell of Fluorescent joining Apex, which is amazing. I mean, you have to really think. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Fluorescent, in my opinion. But either way, even if there is gonna be a lot of pressure on Fluorescent to perform, I think this is actually a pretty good change. I mean, you could definitely say that like CNED should have been in it, or if I think Lime was rumored to be joining that team as well. I'm pretty sure Lime will be joining the team, but also I might be wrong. But I think this is a phenomenal change. I mean, Fluorescent, she has been impressive when she obviously in Shopify Rebellion. So I think she's going to be pretty good. It is definitely gonna be a challenge to her because I don't think she has played against like tier one teams and players and stuff. So it's gonna be very different compared to what she's normally used to. I do think though that this team might maybe struggle at the first bit of the season, but I think slowly and slowly this team is going to just gel really, really well. And hell, I mean, this is the first time that a Game Changers player will be joining Team 1 in this era, I guess you could say, VCT. You can say like Bob or Cornier or even Potter or Claudia as well. Those four players really pioneered Game Changers to be part of like mixed rosters. I guess you could say mainly Bob. I mean, Bob, she was basically part of the best Australian team. I mean, they won back in 2020 with Exo Clan, I believe. And then they moved over then to North America with Sonics, but they were a bit competitive there as well. So I guess you could say that Bob has maybe had a lot more experience and just a lot more accomplishments. I guess you can say in mixed gender rosters. I mean, hell, she's I think she's still part of North America Challengers, I believe. I can't remember what team it is, but all I know is I think she is competing in Split 3. So that's definitely something there. but I'm really, really excited to see how Fluorescent goes on Apex. Now for the news throughout the week, and first start off with there's only one thing I really need to talk about, that being Lock M. He has announced his retirement from Valorant. A lot of these players have announced their retirements from Valorant. It's a bit concerning, I'll be honest. But Lock M, he used to play for Titan Esports Club. Before that, he used to play for Nightwings Gaming. So he's not that well known, I don't think, really in the Western scene, obviously, because Chinese. In the Chinese region, he wasn't that impressive. I mean, he was very quiet. He was a bit of an afterthought, I'll be honest, when you think about Titan Esports Club. Because I think when people think of Titan Esports Club, they mainly, obviously, think about RB. You could even say that people also think about Arbo as well. Now as well, Hao Dong. So, I mean, I can understand his reasoning in retirement. I mean, he's been competing for quite a while. I think he used to play for Team Weibo, I believe, back in 2021, 2022, I believe. So, he has been competing for a while that people haven't really realized. But he's still, I mean, look, he hasn't had a lot of achievements in his career of Valorant, but at least he could say that he did compete in the top tier of Chinese Valorant. So that's definitely something that he could talk about. But either way, I wish him the very best on his retirement. Let's now talk about Rostermania first. Start off with Nozware. He has officially left Furia, and we kind of already know where he's going to. MIBR. So that's no surprise there. I do think Nozware was kind of joining the worst possible um like area, or even like time for when you join Furia, because Furia at that time, they were shit. They were not good whatsoever. So I mean, you could definitely say Nozware joined at a worst possible time in Furia, which he did. But I mean, he's still a phenomenal player in my opinion. He was very, very good when he joined the team, but obviously, I mean, the atmosphere wasn't there, the players wasn't there as well. So Noswell obviously struggled. So I do hope that he does well in MIBR. And speaking of MIBR, they have exploded their roster. Basically, everyone is gone except for Artisan, which I quite like. I think Artisan was maybe their best player. If we talk about the entire season, it was definitely Artisan. Madison, he was alright. Liazi, Rich, and Paula, they joined midway to replace FRN. Sorry, so FRZ. There was another. Well, there was like Frozen. I think RGLM, and I can't remember who the other. Is it FRN? I can't remember right now. It's pissing me off. I can't remember who the other player is, but it's like similar to FRZ. Anyway, I think what MIBL are cooking, they're going to be pretty competitive. I mean, we have what? Aspas, Nosware, and two young Brazilian players that Aspas, I'm pretty sure, chose himself. And added as well with Fraud into the lineup as well as the coach. You know what? My money is on MIBR to make it to maybe champs, maybe, potentially. Maybe even Masters Toronto, if they're lucky. But MIB are looking to be really, really good coming to 2025. We also have now a coach change as well for Edward Gaming. A Century has joined the team. Now, he used to be, I'm pretty sure, a player for Overwatch. And I think he used to play for Chengdu Hunters, I believe. I might be wrong, obviously. Or even for Billy Gaming. Or I should say Hangzhou Spark, I should say. I can't remember. But either way, he was formerly in the Overwatch team. It's good that EDG has another coach, I'll be honest. I mean, I do think that Hao Dong as the coach last year definitely helped this team. So now with another coach coming in for EDG, that's great. They are currently playing in the Radiant Asia Invitational thing over in China, and I don't think it's going well for them. I think they did win against Trace Esports, but they lost against DFM, I believe. But to be fair, DFM, they are just an amazing team as a whole so far. So it's a good change. I quite like this. We'll see if they can, I guess, basically do the same thing as they did this year and win another champion trophy. But I'm not too sure about that, considering of how amazing some of these teams are. Wolves have also had to say goodbye as well to Aluba. used to be part of this team. I think he was a controller player, I believe, and he was one of those players that I was a bit surprised about. He was pretty impressive. I mean, he was also one of those players. Well, I'm pretty sure he came from Totoro Gaming, I believe. So like FFS, Sire, Baby Blue, I believe he was a part of that core. So, but a little bit, he survived for quite a long time, and he was pretty impressive. He definitely had some good moments. So. But we kind of already know who's going to be replacing him is Juicy. So, like, and Wolves as a whole, this team is really, really good. They came first in a Chinese event off season, and then they came second to Bilibili Gaming on another one. So they are definitely contenders. I think they're going to be, like I said, maybe top five or even a top four team at best. Like this Wolves team is pretty scary. I think everyone should be watching that team. And a final one, just a small one. It's just a meal. He has officially left Team Liquid. I thought he left a couple weeks ago, but he didn't apparently. So I only just got word from him just this week. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure where he could go. If you could even, if he could even go to any other team, because I think most teams have already filled out their coaches and stuff, but we'll see where he will land. And now, finally, let's talk about game changes. And first, start off with our champions, Shopify Rebellion. No surprise. I called it. I think a lot of people called it. Shopify Rebellion are now your 2024 Game Changers champions for the second year in a row. Yes, they 3-year MIBR. Fluorescent was MVP. What more can I say? I mean, there's a reason why Apex are looking to sign Fluorescent, because she is an amazing duelist player. At the same time, though, she does require, I feel like, a lot, and I do mean a lot of support, in my opinion. I think Alexa, she was impressive on Breach. Noya also had an amazing series, including Sarah. She was very, very good. Both of them were. And Mel, I guess you could say she's the face of North America Game Changers, and she obviously was very, very good. So everyone on this team was impressive. I don't think there was any duds. I don't think there was any player that really didn't show up, but this team is still phenomenal, and there's a reason why that they are the best team in the Game Changers circuit. I mean, they are just phenomenal team. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Fluorescent if she does leave to join Apex. But I'm pretty confident that they will find a new duelist player. As for their runner-ups, MIBR, a bit disappointing, to be fair. Yes, it is Shopify, but I was expecting more of a fight from them. SRN was my MVP, and yeah, I don't think MIBR really showed up. Unlike Shopify, where everyone showed up, MIBR, you can really say that SRN was the only player that really showed up. I mean, you can maybe say maybe Jelly, but I just don't think anyone from MIBR really showed up, which is disappointing because I thought this was going to be a banging grand final. I mean, last year was a banging grand final against Shopify and Team Liquid Brazil, but I wish that it was a grand final. I mean, I wish a grand final was Shopify versus G2. I'll be honest, just because I know because I know those two teams will go back and forth them in hell. The time when they versed each other, they went to OT in every single map. Yes, it was a 2-0 to Shopify, but they went to OT, which showed how close this game was. But this one was not close whatsoever. I mean, it was just a brutal, brutal loss for MIBR. But at least they showed that they are a very, very good team. They made it all the way to the grand final with I guess you could say with the odds stacked against them because everyone thought it was going to be Shopify versus G2. But MIBR, they showed up at the right time. They made it to the grand final. Yes, they lost against Shopify, but I think they should be still pretty happy with their results. And that is really bad for me for this week in VCT. Yes, yes, it is a very, very short video. By what it says on OBS, it's around 15 to 16 minutes. So it's maybe the shortest episode I've done on this big VCT. So now, guys, to comment, and subscribe. It will really help me, especially on this channel. And obviously, that's about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.